It's not just about the Cold War with China. There's so many things going on right now. I had to make a list of all the stuff that we're going to talk about today. I'm just going to go through it one by one because there's so much. And a lot of it, well, all of it, is the things that I thought would be relevant to you, that would be actionable, that would actually matter to your financial situation, the decisions you make. One of the things that happened today is that when I checked last, gold prices were up $100 per ounce today. Not this month, not this week, today. And when you see something go down in value like gold has over the last few days and then spring back that aggressively, that tells you everything you need to know about the momentum behind the move. This is just going back to what I told you, that gold will just go back to being positive again and trucking along on the way to where it's going to go, which will be 4,000 and then 5,000 and then 6,000. And while a lot of stocks have been completely crumbling recently, coming down in price pretty significantly, there's been a lot of stocks that haven't fallen quite as much, and those are a lot of the gold mining and precious metals mining stocks. There's been some shares of technology companies gone down 10%, whereas a gold mining stock might go down 2%, 1%. And a lot of them have sprung back. A lot of them are doing quite well, especially considering the comparative choices that are out there. Stocks like Newmont Mining, Barrick Gold, Avino Silver Mines, they've all been doing pretty well. When you see stocks like the Magnificent Seven, which are just absolutely declining, it makes the gold mining strategy that we've had this whole time look pretty good right now. And this trade war with China has really kicked off, stepped up a lot today. It's a lot going on more than the trade war. The trade war is just sort of how we're duking it out on the public stage right now. There's a lot of clandestine stuff going on between China and America, and has been for a decade or more. And this is all just part of the process of the way that things are leading up to a big showdown. But now what's happened, I have a gobbledygook on my notes about all the things, because every time they change the tariffs, I adjust it. And then the long story short, right now, if you're going to buy something that was made in China and you're in Idaho or San Diego or Chicago, you're going to buy that thing from China. It's going to cost you 104% more for a tax for the tariff that you would have to pay. So the $20 swimming pool is $40 now, and half of that is tax goes to the U.S. government for your tariff. And if you're in China and you're going to buy something that was made in America that we sell to them, they're paying a tariff of about 84%, I think the number landed on. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's just basically like an embargo. No one's going to buy something that they know costs $2 for $4. In my opinion, I don't know a lot of people that'll do that. I think people will just not buy the thing, or they will look for an alternative, which is, I think, the underlying theory behind all of this. But China has stepped it up beyond tariffs for retaliation. They're also stopping exports of rare earth elements, and they own about 80% of the world's supply of that. And a lot of these rare earth elements are not only incredibly important, but absolutely mandatory to make certain technologies happen the way they want them to happen. But what China has said is that they're ready for any type of war, whether it's a trade war or a world war. They're ready to go. I don't think that they're afraid of us at all. But however you look at it, this is all really bad for Taiwan. They are a sitting duck, and right now there's been a whole bunch of military exercises of a practice invasion of Taiwan from mainland China, and they're surrounding Taiwan. And there's so many ways that this could go really badly, and there's very few that it could go really well. Keep an eye on Taiwan. I think that the invasion of Taiwan is a matter of time, and I believe it's going to happen. And then so much is going to depend on what the world's reaction to that is. And there's been some Chinese troops captured in the Ukrainian war. Russia-Ukraine war, there's a lot of North Koreans. They're getting their butts handed to them a little bit, but now they've captured actual Chinese troops in the Ukraine war. That speaks volumes and has so many significant implications in terms of bringing in more countries into this war. That generally is how world wars start. things just build and build and expand and expand. There's not a lot of de-escalation happening on any front right now. And speaking of that, how more countries get brought into conflicts, France has just signed a declaration with Greenland to ensure their integrity or sovereignty. So basically, if anybody tries to take over Greenland, France is saying that they're going to do what they have to do to help defend Greenland. So if Donald Trump thinks that he wants to take Greenland, does that mean that France has to stand up against America? I'm telling you that the more I talk on these videos, you'll see how ridiculous it's all sounding, and anybody 20 years down the road can look back and go, wow, what mistakes they made. And they're clearly playing out, and I think that this is one of the most difficult times in the world that I've ever seen. And chaos theory suggests that something's going to miscalculate or miss or break, or two jets clip wings and World War III breaks out. There's that piece of the Berlin Wall behind me in every video that I got at Checkpoint Charlie. And there's a time where there's a tank, a Russian tank, and an American tank pointing at each other about 50 yards away from each other. Finger on the trigger, both sides. If there had been some miscalculation, World War III could have started right then. But now there's so many more ways that something like a Checkpoint Charlie accident could happen. What didn't happen, I'm saying it could have. Or even someone decides that they want to actively, intentionally shoot at the other tank and set off World War III. Right now, it's such a difficult time to be navigating any of this, so it's so important that you pay attention to it. It's so important that you start planning what you're going to do that's best for you. Because you might believe that the stock market is going to keep crashing, then there's decisions you got to make. If you think it's going to rebound and start going the other way, different decisions. But you have to be the one to make them. You live with the results of your decisions. But overall, I'd say do not overreact to these crashing markets. That's when people take the biggest loss, when they sell at the bottoms. I think a lot of the selling is actually played out. The early selling is played out. Now you've got some more time for things to stabilize. But the other day, I'm saying, like, even when things go well, don't look too deeply into it or don't think it means so much. When things go badly, don't feel bad about yourself. Things are so volatile right now. The other day, I saw one of my stocks, I think it was American Lithium, and it was up 15% on the day. And I was thinking, wow, that's great. There's a lot of momentum behind that. There's a lot of buying demand that's been on the wings that is now pulling into that stock like I thought it would. But you don't get too excited about it because it can reverse. And I think it did reverse that exact day. Right now, people are thinking they have to take action to decide where to run while things are crashing. Sometimes it's best just to sit where you are, do nothing, watch, take a breath, and understand that no drop, no climb is as great as the shock value when you first see it. That's why when I saw gold prices are up $100 an ounce today, I didn't jump up and cheer. I just recognize that's a recovery from all the losses that we had the last couple of days. And in the latest edition of the world famous Peter Leeds newsletter, I pulled out one part of it for you. I said in the newsletter, the uncertainty around the trade war is as significant as ever. Until we establish some stability and understanding, there will be a dark cloud over this market. In any case, expect double-digit unemployment, then a massive dose of monetary creation, which will lead to double-digit inflation. The recession will be one of the various causes, both directly and indirectly. More market chaos to come. Most of it will be within the next 2 months. Definitely think about selling in May and going away this year. On the warm summer days, play with your kids, read a book, take a nap, drink wine. And on my script, I actually have the word like. I'm supposed to tell you to please like the video. It helps people like us, help more people not get blindsided from what's about to happen. And I know that not everybody can afford $199 for the Peter Leeds newsletter right now. Times are tough. Inflation is getting a little bit nuts. It's going to get worse. And just so you know, you can get the Peter Leeds app and pay monthly, $20 a month, or you can become a Peter Leeds insider and get all sorts of content from me and direct contact with me. Details are at peterleeds.com.